Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru Me Deva Shubhakareshu Sarvada Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesh 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 Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha.
Jai Shri Mataji. Let's raise our Kundalini and take Bandhan. Shri Mataji, please allow us today worship you, to meditate at your divine lotus feet. Shri Mother, please establish within us all the qualities to establish our Nabi chakra during this auspicious time of Diwali. Jai Shri Mataji. We can now take the mantra for Shri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Today we will listen to a small extract of the Srimad Devi Bhagavat, the book, and the passage where the Devi bestows Lakshmis to Sri Brahma, Sri Vishnu and Sri Shiva. We can put our attention inside on our sasara and listen. Brahmaji If my energy departs, the entire life forms in the universe will be rendered lifeless. One must not even think that they can exist in any other way. Just as there is a distinction between a whole earthen pot and its broken pieces of clay, so also between a living body and a body devoid of my energy there is a distinction. Today there is no earth. If we reflect on this, we can understand that every atom and molecule has been destroyed. But in spite of being transient, the soul does not dissolve into nothingness. It is eternal, yet it appears perishable. Because it is subservient to the doer, it has 7 significant differences. Brahmaji, I give you this Mahat Tattva, the soul. Accept it. Out of this comes the ego, or I, consciousness. After this, you must do the work of creating the universe with all its life forms, in exactly the same way as you did in the past. Now you may go and establish your abode and execute the responsibilities that I have entrusted to you. Brahmaji, accept this Shakti as your wife. She is of unequaled beauty. Her face is radiant and ever smiling. She is known as Mahasarasvati and is possessed of the qualities of Rajoguna, action and creation. She is wearing a white sari and is decorated with a snow-white garland. She is seated on a white lotus. Rare and supernatural ornaments enhance her splendor. She will be your companion and loving wife. Consider her a part of my majesty and glory and give her the due honor and respect. Never reproach her or treat her with disrespect and disregard. It is not desirable. Now you take her to Satyalok. The time has come for you to start. Make use of the soul I have given you and create the 4 life forms. Along with the soul, there is life breath, consciousness and body. Use the same methods as you did for your prior work and start creating anew. But keep this always in mind. The creation should conform to the causals of time, season, purpose, occupation, nature, principle, disposition, attributes, merits, virtues, whether movable or immovable. Vishnu is possessed of the right to receive honor, reverence and respect from you because being stationed on Sattva Guna, he is supreme in all respects. Whenever Dharma declines and evil prevails, he will reincarnate himself on the earth, in a place of worship or in heaven. Sometimes he will manifest in the human kingdom, and at others he will manifest in the animal kingdom. It is his innate nature to destroy evil. The extremely powerful Mahadev will also help you in time of need. After creating the gods, you can rest and enjoy recreation. The Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas will perform yagyas and sacrifices with great care and devotion and worship the gods. At these sacrifices, gifts will be distributed in abundance as dakshina. During every ceremony or sacrifice, my names will be uttered with reverence and devotion. It is certain, without doubt, that this worship of me will gratify the gods and give them satisfaction and contentment. Shankar is also to be respected and honored. In every puja he is to be worshipped. I repeat that whenever the demons and negative forces surround you and terrorize you, my Shaktis will assume forms of dazzling beauty and defeat and devour the enemy. Varahi, Vaishnavi, Gauri, Narasimhi, Shiva. And besides these, there are innumerable Shaktis that emanate from me. Brahma started the creation of the universe and the cosmos. I endow upon you the seed and the attributes of the most powerful mantra of 9 syllables. It bestows liberation and complete happiness. With full attention and a deep meditation, you must chant it constantly while you engage yourself in the act of creation. Recognize and accept this as the most supreme of all mantras. Enthrone this mantra in your heart and you will accomplish the creation with perfection. Brahma says, speaking thus to me, the most worshipful and divine goddess, Bhagavati Jagadamba, turned to Vishnu. The goddess said, Vishnu, take this most dazzling and resplendent Mahalakshmi, enthrone her in your heart. She will reign supreme. She is auspicious and generous, and fulfill all desires. I give her to you as your partner and companion. You must never insult, disrespect, or treat her with contempt. Respect and honor her. For her sake I give you the name Lakshmi Narayan. For the support and maintenance of the gods, I have instituted various forms of worship and sacrifice. All 3 of you graciously accept your share of the offerings and oblations. You, Brahma and Shiva, and all these gods have all come into existence as my manifestations. Therefore, all are equally entitled to receive honor and worship and a share of sacrifices. There is no place for doubt in this. The ignorant and obstinate, who creates distinctions, multiplicity, and disunion among the deities will certainly go to hell. He who is Vishnu is verily Shiva, and Shiva is Sri Hari himself. He who makes distinction and differentiates between them gets thrown into hell. Brahma should also be considered as one with Vishnu and Shiva. It is inadvisable and undesirable to have any thought contrary to this. Vishnu, I will clearly tell you the variances in moods and attributes. You are the great being. In you, sattva, evolution, awareness, and righteousness of the highest region should be predominant. Rajoguna and Tamoguna will be subordinate and subservient to you. In the diverse creations, you will combine with Rajoguna, the mood of creative action, and enjoy the company of Mahalakshmi. Ramakant, the first seed, Aim, of speech, learning, Klim, the second seed of desire, action, and Hrim, the third seed of illusion and unreality. These are my mantras. The Bija mantra of the Devi, which is the combination of Vyat, which is Ha, and Ra, bedecked with crescent moon, fulfills all desires. This Bija mantra, Hrim, is described as a single letter containing the Brahman and is meditated upon by yogis of pure attention, who are verily the knowledge with great bliss. The mantra Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaya Viche gives Brahman realization. The third mantra unveil the knowledge of the significance of the mantra. Chant this mantra unceasingly and experience the pure joy, the Niranand. At the time of dissolution, when I absorb the entire creation within myself, you all will enter into my being. This mantra bestows bhakti, devotion and faith, and mukti, freedom, and should be preserved close to your heart. Those who desire auspiciousness should also chant the life breath holy monosyllable Om. You shall create Vaikunt and reside there. I am the constant, immovable, motionless, steadfast, eternally Adya Shakti. Keeping me constantly in your attention, you must meditate and reflect. Brahmaji says, the goddess Bhagavati is attributeless. She is beyond the three gunas and beyond the prakriti, material cause of the universe. After saying all these things to Vishnu, the great goddess turned to Shiva and spoke to him in sweet tones. The Devi said, Shankar, this most enchanting Mahakali is also known as Gauri. Accept her as your wife. Create your abode, Kailash, and go there and live in joy with her. In your functioning, Tamoguna, pure desire, existence, will be the predominant aspect. Sattvaguna and Rajoguna will be subordinate. Together with Rajoguna, you must start the destruction of the Asuras. You have already performed the necessary tapasya to get permission to meditate on the primordial being. Mahadev, you are a very auspicious being. God is the embodiment of peace and tranquility. In him, Sattva Guna, evolution, awareness, and righteousness abounds. You must seek his protection. The three of you are fully endowed with the three attributes. Creation, protection, and dissolution are your functions. In the entire universe, there is no substance that is without these three qualities. Everything that exists in this universe possesses these threefold principal qualities. Anything that is nirgun and can still be seen can never be and never shall be in existence. Only the Supreme Spirit is nirgun and never fully visible to anyone, because anything that comes within the range of sight is transitory. Nirgun energy can only be realized through faith. The universal consciousness that is felt in all beings is the highest self. Shankar, according to the situation and time, I take the forms of manifest and unmanifest. My form is the highest and most auspicious. I am always the causal. I never enter the field of action. In the causal state, I am Sagun, endowed with qualities and possessed with attributes. When I dwell with the most supreme primordial being, I am in Nirgun state. Ego, sound, and touch are the qualities of Mahatattva, the soul. All functions in the universe are carried out day and night by virtue of causal and action. Let's now stay a few minutes in meditation, in silence. Vaibhav, if you can now play the talk. Thank you.
And the three processes through which we pass. First is Vigraha Lakshmi. Actually, this is celebrated mostly on the 13th day of the moon, where they say that the housewife has to be given some present. And the best thing she can have is some sort of an utensil. So people give her some utensils. Actually, it's a very, I think, a mutual thing, because if you give an utensil, she's supposed to cook for you. It's a very sweet way of suggesting that you cook something for her. Then the 14th day is very important, because that is the day the goddess, as a power, because it was Kartikeya who killed Narakasura, the devil. And he was one of the worst of all. He could not be killed. So Shiva and Parvati were married for the special purpose to produce this powerful Shakti Putra, means the son of the Shakti, known as Kartikeya. And he was just born to kill this horrible devil called as Narakasura. And he killed. That is the day, 14th day. It's something like Halloween that day. Because that is the day they open the gates of hell and put all the devils into hell. And that's why that day one has to rest in the morning time, as long, so that let all the devils be put in nicely. Because some of them might be hanging around. See, it's better to allow them to get out. I mean, in the realm that you are, you do not feel much there is. But if you were in the realm of subconscious area or collective subconscious, people see even some of the spirits and also can feel their existence. They see the black spots and all that. So, that day is very dangerous. But because Narakasura was killed, people celebrate it. That celebration is expressed next year, next day, which that day is the day of Diwali, they say. That is the day they also worship Lakshmi, because they think that from the sea, as I told you last time. Then the day of the new year comes in afterwards. Because in India, in the north, that's the time people finish their crops, and they found that day was very good to celebrate the new year. And that is actually more sort of, we can say, is a social thing in India. We need not use that. Whatever suits us, you can have your own New Year, because in the south, in say in Maharashtra, they have another New Year, as I told you, where Shalivahana, this dynasty, started another calendar and they celebrate that. So all these things are, nothing is rigid about anything. One must know, nothing is rigid. The rigidity comes from ignorance. It's all for you, for your joy and happiness. The whole festival system is for your happiness and not for the happiness of the time or date. It's for you. So it should be adjustable according to your needs and understanding. And also according to your national way you live. There should be no addiction to any particular type of culture or particular type of ideas. It's all for you. All these festivals are for you, not for gods. They don't have these festivals. It's only for you people these festivals are there. And when you celebrate them, that's only for your joy and your happiness. And that's how you should celebrate in a way that gives you the greatest amount of happiness. And the festivals, all the festivals of the world must be celebrated. The more you are festive, the happier it is. Why miss the chance? So as Sahaja Yogis, you can celebrate. You can't push yourself in, John. Just move a little this side, I think. Yeah, just move a little. So, as a Sahaja Yogi, you don't belong to any particular caste or community anymore now. You belong to universal caste. Once you start belonging to the universal thing, then you can celebrate all the festivals of all the religions and have the best of it. All the year round you can celebrate all the festivals, know about them. The more you know, the better it is. And have all kinds of sweets, whatever you use, whatever type you use, in whatever areas and countries and cultures. And that's how we have to be more festive. Now, the last day is very important. It's a very universal day, I should say, called as Bhaiyadvij. It's the, or they call it also in Marathi Bhaubij in different times. It's the brothers and sisters day. Now, the brothers and sisters relationship has to be very, very strong. And the purity of that relationship is to be maintained. It is not necessary that you should be born as brothers and sisters. Not necessary. But you are born, because if you are realized souls, you are born as brothers and sisters. So that purity must be maintained in the society of Sahaja. Very important. That we should try to develop this situation that brothers and sisters are something very pure. Their relationships are very pure. And they should not be at all challenged. It is so much so that even if you call somebody your brother, he is your brother. And the more you develop this relationship, the better your left Vishuddhi will be. Because left Vishuddhi is the relationship with God as a brother or with the goddess as a sister. So, Shri Krishna's sister, as you know, was born to Nand. And Shri Krishna was himself born in a prison. So there was an exchange that took place. They had to replace her in his place. And then when Kamsa, the uncle of Krishna, tried to kill that girl, she went into the sky and like a lightning she said that your killer is still living in Gokul. He's still there. So this lightning that we see is representative of that power which we call as Vishnu Maya, with the sisters. If your sisterly feelings towards women are good and strong, your left Vishuddhi will be very good. It has many other qualities. For example, a person who has a very good left Vishuddhi is a very confident person. Not only that, but whatever he says comes out true. Even by mistake he says something, it comes true. It's a very powerful center, left Vishuddhi is. Such a person whenever he speak, to say criticize something or to cut down something or to be against something, then it has the power to crush all that he doesn't want. See, like you can say Christ, his left Vishuddhi is expressed through his relationship with Mari Magdalene. When he stood up and said that those who have not committed any sin can stone her. So this is his power. The sin of the people just crushed them completely. They finished because the sin was there, and the sin was of left vision. There was no purity. And when there is no purity, a person who is so pure says such a thing. All these people lost their powers. They couldn't even stone. Now, this sister of his was born later on as Draupadi, and that too very near the place we have been to Vani, where we saw. Gavi, you remember when we were going to Nagpur? Near Vani, she was born, that place, and there's a very big temple of that. She was called as Draupadi, and you know how Sri Krishna tried to save her chastity. Now, people, I've heard, are trying also to say things against Mari Magdalene and against Christ and all kinds of things. See, this is a sign of the decadence of our brains and our morality, that we cannot see purity in any relationship. We cannot see any purity in any relationship. So we as Sahaja Yogis have to develop more of that. Instead of that, what I find that people, especially in the West, try to think whom we are going to marry home. These relationships are established. These are wrong. There is no need to go on organizing marriages and playing these games of romance and all that. If marriage has to take place, it will take place. But don't spoil the atmosphere. There are some people who are just like barbers who try to organize marriages, you see, and take a great pride in arranging marriages with this one to that one and that one to that one. It's not a desirable. One should not do it. There's no virtue in these things, is to organize marriages all the time. When the marriage time comes, it takes place. Now at the time of Muhammad Sahib, a big question arose because there were very few ladies, very few men, and many ladies of all age groups. And they didn't know what to do, how to save these girls, because so many men died in the war. So then they asked what to do now at this juncture. I mean, a position when such a catastrophe is there and so many women are there and very few men, then he said, all right, you can marry 4 or 5 wives. And you can marry any age group, because if you have to live with dharma, means marriage, means collective sanction, not without marriage. So he said, all right, you can even marry 5 times, but you must marry. Without marriage you cannot live. And that
We'll now sing the 3 great mantras of the Sahasrara. And while we're doing so, we can offer incense to Shri Mataji. we will now sing the three great mantras of the Sahasrara. And while we're doing so, we can offer incense to Shri Mataji. Let's stay in meditation for a couple of minutes. before bowing down and raising our Kundalini, we can together say the morning prayer. Mother, may I this day be what you have me be. May I this day say what you have me say. May I this day be part and parcel of the whole. And may my thoughts be of a realized soul. May I this day have love for all mankind. Shri Mother, please be in my heart and in my mind. Jai Shri Mataji. We can now bow down and raise our Kundalini. Thank you, Shri Mataji, again and again. Thank you everyone for joining this morning meditation. And we wish you all beautiful Diwali celebrations throughout the week. And Jai Shri Mataji.